Good morning to you in India, but it's actually good evening, and as you can see the light is fading here. But fading light doesn't mean that light doesn't shine on India. Two athletes have done us proud. Avinash Sable was quite the highlight for me. He ran brilliantly, led more than half the race, fell back a little bit to the 6th and 7th place in a big bunch, but came back strongly and finished third. The manner in which he held on is very creditable. I'm sure he's going to take a lot of confidence from how he was able to come back. Normally he's a fantastic runner, did a great job of leading the race, and got a very good kick. He combined both to be able to come third in the race and then gain an automatic place in the final. This will be his second World Championship final, and that is good to know. He's somebody who can upset a lot of people, but I don't see him medaling. Sreeshankar might have that outside chance, but I don't see Avinash Sable medaling. I could be wrong here. I hope I am wrong, but it's going to be tough for him to beat a world-class set of finalists and get a medal. It will be really wonderful for India if he does that, but I think he's already stirred a lot of emotions, and I think that's only very good for India. Sreeshankar will have to believe that he can deliver the goods. He will have to believe that he can finish in the top 6 for sure, and if he does get that one good jump, he might be in the mix for the medals. Even now he's done creditably to get that 8-meter mark and then get into the final, but he should be aiming higher, and I'm sure he will be able to do a great job. Very interestingly, Jamaica's TJ Gale, who jumped 8.69 meters in Doha in the World Championship, was not able to find anything at all today and went out of competition. 3 no marks. There were 5 other athletes on view today from India, and all of them were pretty disappointing, to say the least. Let's start with Priyanka Goswami. She had a pretty good start, could have done better, but she was penalized a couple of minutes. She had to sit in the sin bin and finish 34th overall out of 36 finishers. Similarly, Sandeep Kumar in the men's 20-kilometer walk was pretty disappointing. He stuck on with the leaders for a fair bit, but he fell back, and toward the end of the race was penalized a couple of minutes as well, and ended up in the high 40s, and it was pretty disappointing to say the least. The long jumpers had created a lot of expectation because they'd all gone past the 8-meter mark. Jesvin Aldrin, who had gone through a lot to even get to the US and to be able to compete in the World Championship, was disappointing. He had a couple of fouls. I think fouls have been a bane this season for him. And he produced a 7.79 with his final ditch effort. Did not get a place in the final, obviously. Similarly, Mohammad Anis Yahya, he had 3 consistent jumps, but none of them was close to 8-meter mark. And obviously he also ended up being out of the race for the final. The biggest disappointment was Tajinder Pal Singh Toor, one of the most consistent shot putters in India ever, somebody who's gone beyond 21 meters mark, coming back from injury and looking good after he produced a 20-plus throw in India. Was disappointing. Apparently he had an adductor muscle injury and had to sit out of the final. He tried his hand with a couple of short putts, but didn't seem confident enough and pulled himself out of the race completely. That was very disappointing. It would be very unfair if we leave out the teams that won medals today. There was Peru, a 20-kilometer race walking medal for them, a first in the World Championship for Peru, which was wonderful to see for them. There was Japan, which got a 20-kilometer men's walk. First time China is missing out on gold medals in a long time. And then, of course, there was this 4x400 mixed relay, a very stirring race that Dominican Republic won comfortably in the end, beating the American to 3rd place. Netherlands came a very good second. The Americans will be pretty disappointed. They had a good start. They had a lead going into the final 100 meters, but then Dominican Republic and Netherlands had other ideas. Their anchors were superior, and it was wonderful to see them win the race that they did. There are 3 Indian athletes on view tomorrow. There is Parul Chaudhary in the 3000 meter steeplechase and MP Jabir in the men's 400 meters hurdles. I don't expect much from them. They will compete hard, but I don't see them getting into the finals. Then of course there is that big final for Murali Sreeshankar. He can produce the rabbit out of the hat if he's got the confidence. No Indian long jumper, barring Anju Bobby George, has won a medal at the World Championship, and this is a great chance for Sreeshankar to try and do something extraordinary. Will he do it? Join me tomorrow to find out.